Hi, I was just getting ready to start editing the seedling part 2 update video and realized I didn't have an intro at all. My crock pot is bubbling quite ferociously. But yeah, so hi, seedling update part 2. There's been a lot of growth, still, obviously. Everything's doing great. We've still been getting some freezing temperatures at night, so I haven't moved anything outside yet or up-potted anything. It is the last day of March right now, so tomorrow is the start of April, which here significantly gets a lot more springy, and all that jazz. I'm currently debating whether I want to put stuff into pots or more bins like this. It is water because I bottom watered a bunch of houseplants yesterday, so that's why it's all yucky looking. But yeah, if I want to put stuff in pots or do more bins would probably be a lot more cost effective. And this whole thing is about starting where you are. And I'm broke, so might be bins, which is going to be less aesthetically pleasing and not look as cute on the porch, but here we are. I also just like the clear bottom because I can see how much sitting water there might be in them, so that might actually be beneficial, even though it won't like look the best. Who really cares? It's for my porch and you guys, if you're here at all. But yeah, so quick little update. Let's get into the video, and I hope you enjoy. And welcome back to, I guess, Germination. This will be the first one in part 2 of the series. You can see things have grown quite a lot over here. Everything is doing really well, and we just had some nice sun right now, obviously, so I figured it'd be a good time to show you before it runs away on me again. Let me go ahead and rotate these guys so you can see what we're working with. Bell peppers, so as far as I can see, bell peppers still don't have anything going on. Which is totally fine. I'm expecting peppers to take the longest, so that's just as expected. We have the strike beans in the middle here. They are definitely the tallest. They didn't shoot up first by any means, but they are taking off and looking like they're just going to be very sturdy, and they're doing their best. It's funny, the ones that have two or just have a single one growing out are way bigger, and then these shared ones where I put 2 beans in are definitely a little smaller. They're not bad or anything, it's just like they're noticeably lagging behind the ones that have their own cell, which I found interesting. And then this last row here on the right is our snap peas, which are doing wonderfully. I did more of them as doubles just because I love snap peas so much. Like, I won't be mad about extra plants for these by any means. Down here, we have cucumbers in this leftmost row and the miner's lettuce on the right. Cucumbers are going very well. Looks like I just did 1 per each. This one did come up last, and this leaf is just slightly like has a kink in it. That might just be because it's the one with the stick in it, who knows? But these other 2 definitely look like they're off to a great start. You can also kind of see the first set of true leaves just barely poking out in the centers here. So that's exciting. And then the miner's lettuce is just, I just misted them, so they're all kind of tipping over because they're very slender and lightweight. But they are doing great as well. Down here, we have basil and cilantro in our next carton. This basil is all doing great. I'm never going to be mad at more herbs because whatever I don't use fresh, I can dry. And especially with basil, it's not an inconvenient one to harvest, kind of like thyme, where you have to, try to avoid getting any stems in. Basil typically has pretty tender stems, so it's pretty easy to handle. And then we've got cilantro on the end. These just started poking up. This one in the middle came up first, obviously. And then the ends are still looped over. This one is a tiny one, but they are doing great. And then one more rotation here. Sorry, I know that sound isn't the best, but it is what it is. We've got the iceberg, which was one of our first two to pop up. They still look basically identical. Again, I just misted everybody, so they're kind of falling over just because the water sits on top and they get kind of heavy. But you can see in the middle there, you can see that next set of leaves coming up, which is very exciting. Nasturtiums are this middle row, and I was just about to say there's nothing coming up, but what is this? So this is a piece of perlite that I'm poking. I thought that might have been a seed, but this looks like the tiniest little sprout coming up. I have never grown nasturtiums. It's noticeably not very green like the rest of everybody else. It's kind of just like a muted greeny pink almost to it. I don't know, that'll be interesting. That's the first one of them to come up at all or show any activity, so I'll keep an eye on that and keep you posted, obviously. And then chamomile, I think, was our second to poke up after the lettuces. There goes our sunlight. This little cluster, they're just so cute. I think these are just the cutest little seedlings. Like, they're all adorable. I love them all, but just the little rounded leaves, and they're still so petite. All the basils. Let's see. Rotate this back so everyone can even out and not all be tipping one way. Oh goodness. Made quite the conundrum for myself here. There we go. Okay. Oh. And look! Our first stick to go flying, and it was my fault, not the dog's. Lucky me. Okay. No major casualties. A miner's lettuce tipped over and our bungled up kind of cucumber anyway. No big deal there. So, in our little greenhouse egg carton, we have the supernovas. They came up first in this carton, so they are obviously all the tallest. Shot. They're all doing great. We've got the landrace in the middle. Nothing came up at all in this one, which is kind of interesting. And then one more here on the end. And then the ground cherry over here, not showing a lot of activity. There's these in the second cell. We got like nothing. These, what is that, 3 right there, and then maybe 1 by the plastic back here. I don't see anything in the third. And in the fourth, maybe you can see it there, that little white bit. I'll poke to it and then it'll lose focus. But right there, I think is a little seedling trying to do something. These seeds were tiny, but I don't remember putting a lot, if any, actual dirt on them. I think I just kind of moved some dirt around once planting them because I knew they didn't need to go that deep. But this seems to be the only one really having a whole lot of growth for the ground cherries. And then down here, we have what will allegedly one day become jalapenos. And I'm also seeing no activity, so really nothing from the peppers of jalapeno or bell variety. But yeah, I was expecting the peppers to come up last, and then the peppers are also the ones that I pulled from the grocery store rather than seeds that were ordered from MI Gardener, like all of the other ones are. I am very stoked to see the cilantro coming up though, because I love cilantro. These little cucumbers, they're so cute. They're all so cute. And our son came back, obviously. Oh, they're so happy. Okay. And then we've got our pots. We've got our basil, doing just as good as the ones in the carton now. Oh, and then these were new, I think yesterday. Some carrots started sprouting up. This is just our little experimental carrot peanut butter jar. Because I don't know about you, but I've been into plants ever since I was a kid. And I kind of always wished that with like root vegetables that I could grow them in something see-through and just watch them do their process underground. And now I'm an adult with seeds and peanut butter jars, so I'm making that happen. Watch them all just grow into the center and really crowd each other, and I don't get to see anything. it could happen. Who knows? But yeah. What, I planted all of these on the 11th. Today is the, let me check my watch. Today's the 20th, so these have all just been in the dirt for 9 days, barely over a week. And would you look at this? A lot of happy babies here. And a happy mama. A couple things I've noticed as things have kind of progressed a bit. These are definitely drying out a lot quicker. I know the root systems on these are probably super minuscule still, but I swear they're drying out quicker and I'm having to mist more often. Even earlier I put some water straight into the tray so it can kind of pull up and soak the egg crates a little more. Just because mist is hardly cutting it. As far as the bottle goes, that I mentioned in the Germination Part 1 video, it is still doing great. No issues with the spray or the actual mechanism in there at all. And I've had plenty of these break on me for cleaning or whatever I've used them for. But this one is still doing good. Highly recommend. And it's pretty. But yeah, so these are needing to be misted more often. This one, so even though I'm not closing this anymore because it would crush these guys on the side, it's still needing watered less. And I believe the reasoning for that is just because this is plastic, and so there isn't moisture leaving through basically every cell from every direction underneath here, you know? Whereas these, like, yes, they hold moisture in these, but that means they're also losing moisture through the carton, whereas this isn't losing any other than from out the top. So even though it's not the closed kind of greenhouse system anymore, it, yeah, it's still keeping moisture a lot better than the other cartons. That being said, I don't love using plastic. I'm not gonna like intentionally buy plastic in the future because like just for this, because as much as it's nice that it's not needing to be misted, I also don't mind misting. I like plants that need care. I don't do too well with plants that thrive on neglect, like succulents and cacti. I've got a few, like that little guy. That's a little cacti down this way. But most of the plants that I own are tropical, and they tell me when they need water or fertilizer or aren't getting enough sun. Like they let you know what they need, and they need help often. But, you know, that's part of this being the hobby, is I like to do the work and the nurturing. This is the first update of Germination Part 2. Hi, my dishwasher is running in the background. Sorry about that, but gotta do what you gotta do. So, quick update. So this video is not an hour long. The nasturtiums finally started popping up. I was getting worried about them, but they definitely have the most unique leaves of anything that's popped up so far. Let's see if that'll focus. But they've got kind of this pink ridge around the edges of them, and they're just like a fun little shape. And they got tall really quick. They just started popping up maybe 2 days ago. I've just been really busy and stressed, so didn't really record. Chamomile's getting a little taller, otherwise looks the same. Iceberg, it's got its first set of true leaves coming out of the middle of most of them here. They're very wispy and prone to fall over as soon as they get misted or have any kind of weight or shaking up done to them. Cilantro down in the end there is getting nice and tall. No real cilantro leaves coming out of those yet. Now these strike beans are quite striking. They have just absolutely taken over. And like seedlings, and then it's like, oh damn, that's a plant, that's happening. You can see this little bud looking thing right in here, I think is the first true leaves coming out. And then these, so this was like the white shell that I pulled off in the Germination Part 1 video. They kind of remind me of like snake eggs. Oh my goodness, my dog. She's out here to join us now. Hello. Yes, thank you. Thank you for alerting me to the strangers. Okay, back to this. But yeah, these strike beans are absolutely crazy. They're like casting a shadow over everything. The cucumbers are doing really good. No huge changes, just you can still kind of see their focus. Me hitting the light again. You can still see that little leaf that wants to come out of the middle. We've got all the miner's lettuce over here, all spindly. And then these are the bell peppers on this row closest, and we can finally see some little loops starting to come up. Let's see, it might just be that one for right now. Also, I've just seen one of the little bugs. I don't know if you can see it moving right there. But I talked about those in the seed starting video, and they haven't proven to be a problem. I don't know what they are, but nothing's gotten big or weird. I haven't noticed any gnats around the house, so they must just be part of maybe the worm castings or the organic soil, who knows. And then there's also this seed trying to do something. He's not looking as happy as this guy who's actually got some green to him though. And then on the other side of the strike beans, we've got the snap peas, and they are doing great. This guy, you can see he's got his first little wispy coming out that's gonna want to try to climb or attach to something. So I might have to give them little like skewers or something just to have something to grab onto. Let's see, down here we've got jalapenos. Let me take a look. This might be a seedling looping over. Thinking about coming out. Anybody else? Nope, still pretty slow moving. I think peppers typically require a little more heat, and you can see it's quite a rainy, gloomy day. We've been having plenty of those, so not upset that they're taking long at all. The supernovas over here. First true leaves coming in on this guy. Focus. There we go. They're very tiny, but they're coming. The landrace in the middle also has some true leaves coming up. Very small still, so I'm not going to do any kind of like trimming or anything yet at all. And then the ground cherries, we finally have some more of those coming in. It's like 3 out of the 4 cells, I believe. But yeah, so bell peppers and jalapenos are making a slow start. Basil, both in the egg crate and in the pot, are doing wonderful. And we've got our carrots here that are also doing pretty good. But yeah, that's it for the quick update. Today's will for sure be a quick one. But I just noticed over here, right through there, that is bell pepper, and they are coming up and looking good. You can see that one that's pretty much up, throwing out its first leaves, and another looped over next to him. So it's been 13 days since planting the seeds, so basically 2 weeks for the first bell pepper to show up and actually start doing anything exciting. The little one up by the stick that we talked about is still struggling a bit. But yeah, these ones in the middle are doing pretty good. Still nothing quite as promising with the jalapenos. I think they do just require a little more heat to get going, and being by this big window here, if we had sunshine, it would be getting plenty, but we keep getting these like rainy 55-degree days, really gloomy, so it's just not really helpful to the jalapenos. Everyone else is doing great. These strike beans are just not stopping. They're kind of just building like a little shady canopy for everyone around them, so I just got to keep rotating. These snap peas here are looking wonderful. The little wispies coming out are so lovely. The icebergs are really just tipping over everywhere, and like, I don't think they're sad, I don't know. They're kind of like weak. I don't know if that's normal or not. And then these nasturtiums in the middle are getting quite tall for having just come up. They're going pretty quick. Their little leaf shape is so cute too. They look like little duck feet. Cilantro. No real cilantro leaves just yet. It's all just the first set. Tomatoes are doing good. They are working on their first leaves. You can see. Slowly but surely, they're working on it. Ground cherries are doing pretty good. I don't know. They kind of didn't really come up here. Not there and one there. And then this one is just kind of crazy for some reason. I don't know how that would have happened. But as long as some of them are up, that's good by me. And then in here, the chamomile. They are starting to throw up their first real leaves in the middle of some of the bigger ones. Bigger, quote unquote. But yeah, doing good. Miner's lettuce, looking kind of skinny and wanting to tip over a bit like the iceberg, but not as bad. I think because the leaves aren't broad, so it's not catching the water droplets and having as much like top weight and tipping over. But yeah, everyone's doing good. I just wanted to share that the bell peppers are finally kind of working their way up through the dirt, so that's exciting. Our single basil out here is doing great, getting nice and tall. Our carrots are working their way, and yeah, all is well today. Just a quick little update, but peppers are upon us, finally. Hi, me again, just here to end the video. I know nothing really crazy happened, but I think it's crazy if you look at the first like chunk of plant check-in video from this and the last, and just look at the strike beans. Like, they're crazy. They are ready to like take over and do some serious growing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will probably update again once I start up potting or when I buy bins and soil and just make the decision on what to plant everything into. In the meantime, if we stop hitting freezing temps at night, well, even not, I might, when the weather is 60 and above, I might start putting those guys outside during the day, just to start kind of hardening them up a little bit, assuming it's not like windy or freezing rain or anything lovely like that. But yeah, I'll start hardening them up a little bit. Whenever I water them, I'm like not too gentle and I kind of just run my hands over everybody so they have a little bit of, I don't know, a little more structure to them. But yeah, everyone's doing good. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for when people start going out on the porch and they get potted up and start looking a little more like a garden than a random like kindergarten science experiment. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.